Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes podcast.
So let's talk about agents that kind of follow our model. Because we're agents too. And in our agencies, we've developed basically a telefunnel. So what we do is we buy lots of internet leads. Those internet leads come into the funnel. Our telemarketers through the TeleDudes platform that we have, then they call, make contact, then funnel those over to our agents who then sell the idea of the quote, then sell the insurance. Often they'll say, I only got the auto, I couldn't get the house, and maybe they didn't bring it up, or maybe they just really couldn't get it. But how would this be something that they could insert into that process and leverage it? And then maybe talk a little bit about exactly what it is.
Sure. So I can understand your model a little bit better. So telemarketer calls and they get to talk to a lead, and that lead says, it's a live transfer.
They'll move it over to our producers.
Okay, great. Yeah. So what InsurGrid is essentially a unique link to an agent or an agency that is shared with a prospective client digitally. So either over email, over the phone, via text, or on social media. And so maybe when the TeleDude or Dudette is talking to the lead, before they transfer them over to the agent, they would let the lead know that they're going to be getting a link to connect to their current insurance policy, so the agent can understand more what they currently have and be able to provide the most accurate quote. Because we've learned that consumers want the most accurate and fast quote. And to have the most accurate quote, you need to know what someone has, so you can know what the parameters are of what their insurance policy should be. But it has to be very quick. And so with InsurGrid, you're able to accomplish both of that. So, a TeleDude or even the agent, once the agent is talking to the lead, they would be able to then share their InsurGrid link and say, hey, you just received this link. All you need to do is connect to your current insurance policy. And Craig and Jason, do you guys both have a Venmo account?
We do.
So do you remember when you connect
I don't know if he does, but I do.
Your bank account to your Venmo account?
Uh-huh.
So it's the same exact thing, but instead of choosing your bank account, you're choosing your current insurance account, and then you're connecting your current insurance account, the authentication of your username and password. So it's the same process, just with insurance. And so the insured gets the link, just like they would connect their bank account. They connect their insurance account, and InsurGrid pulls that information. So when the agent's having a conversation, they know what the insured currently has.
Wow.
Love it. What does the client see on their end as far as, does it link the new quote to their current policy?
So what it does, so the experience for the consumer is they simply just put in they choose their carrier, they connect their account, and then InsurGrid, we pull all the information and upload it to the agent's dashboard, we call it. And so the agent's able to see all their current policy information, and then from there be able to tailor quote. So, we're still at the step one in the process and in the funnel of just how can we get that information? How can we make that connection from the insured, from the prospective client to the agent? How can we make that data connection really easy? And then from there, I think, Jason, there's a lot of things that we want to do once we get that data.
Will it pull VIN numbers and everything of the autos that are on the policy? Wow.
Yep.
That can be a huge value. Love it. I love the InsurTech world of just those little things. It's like Batman, right? His utility belt.
Yeah.
It's just putting another thing in the utility belt that gives you the leverage to be able to one up the next dude.
Oh, and also too, if you think about agents, I think a lot of, in today's world of more leads, I think a lot of agents think like, I just need to talk to more people. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe you just have to have more efficient conversations with the people you talk to. And I'll tell you a story about an agent who's used InsurGrid with old leads, is you have a lot of people that you've talked to in the past. So what if you could go back to them with something like InsurGrid and say, hey, I'd love to take a look again at your policy. Click here for me to verify your insurance. And consumers, they want the fast connection, are more than happy to do that if they know that they're going to get an accurate and fast quote.
Love it. Yeah. You got to maximize every opportunity.
Right.
Doing those daily drills, whether it be training with daily drills or just making sure that whole process, those few minutes that you have with that person, that you maximize that is key, because the whole process can be expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of agents that I talk to, sometimes they're like, oh, I can't get deck pages. Or I don't get deck pages. I don't quote apples to apples. And it's like, I understand you're not a fruit farmer. We're not fruit farmers here. We're in the insurance industry. But if you can understand what someone has currently, you can have more of a consultative conversation instead of a price-driven conversation. And just knowing what they have, there are a lot of people in the world that are underinsured, have gaps in their coverage, and you don't know that unless you know what they're dealing with right now. And traditionally, it's been so hard for agents to get this information. And with technology, I mean, not only InsurGrid, I mean, obviously, we're working hard to build something special, but there's a lot of great technologies out there that just make the speed and ease of use of business better for the consumer.
Sure.
Love it.
It really could be a great piece to add to that follow-up funnel. So even if you can't get it on the first try, a follow-up email, or in situations that warrant or permit a text, that can go and boom, hey, we missed you, but fill this thing out. We'll get right back to you and have an accurate proposal for you.
Exactly. And I have a great story in that one of our agents, John Williams, real customer, real agent that uses InsurGrid.
John Williams.
Yeah, you know him? But John uses InsurGrid, and he has a lot of leads that he never even got in contact with. And he used an InsurGrid link and reached out to all the leads that he didn't end up winning their business, and just said, hey, would love to take another look at your insurance. Click this link and we can instantly verify your current insurance to see if you have the right coverage. And within 5 minutes, someone connected their policy through InsurGrid. And within a week, he binded a $6,000 premium policy. And he was an agent in Texas. So premiums can be pretty large in Texas, but it wouldn't have happened if he didn't have that utility tool of InsurGrid to really maximize his reach and maximize the money he's spending on leads.
Love it. What are you seeing some trends wise in the industry, and what are you seeing agents do to really maximize the value of their leads and just real productivity in general?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great sales automation tools, whether it's Agency Zoom, whether it's Agency MVP, where you can set up actual campaigns where you're hitting people with different value props in the funnel. But, I come from the world of SaaS sales. And so really adopting that kind of outbound value added seller, where you're educating your client based on the location, based on the time of year, weather that's coming through, and really not just like pushing people for quotes. I think traditionally a lot of agents have really just been pushing people, here's a quote, here's a quote, here's a quote. But now it's more, hey, let me educate you on what you should be looking for in your policy, and having more of that consultative conversation. Because I think it goes a longer way with consumers.
Right.
There's a balance to deliver that speed and the speed they want, but at the same time create some value by educating.
Right.
Yeah. Without the value, it's just the price game.
Right. And yeah, it's tough to play that price game, right? It's really hard when people are just looking at, can you beat this price? Can you beat this price? And it's not about price. It's about proper coverage. And you really need to educate your consumers on, do they have the proper coverage? What happens if something happens to your house or to your car? And think consumers are starting to really want to be educated as well.
Love it. So what would you say going into 2022, already? 21? Well, going into 2022. It's kind of like the 1999 going towards.
Yeah.
What would you say for the rest of the year? What best piece of advice would you give any agent that was either coming into the industry, or maybe an agent that just really wants to do things differently, get things started, rocking for the future?
Yeah.
What advice would you give that dude?
Good question. I think Consistency. I think, Jason, you were talking about this, but just creating habits, whether it's, I want to reach out to 20 new people a day and with a personalized message, or I want to create 3 new partnerships with a mortgage broker, loan officer, a real estate agent, and just having those weekly, almost weekly goals, maybe daily or weekly goals of just really just delivering high value content. Instead of taking that shotgun approach where I'm just going to send a blast to 1,000 leads, I'm going to create a partnership with someone local and community, and then I'm going to send out customized messaging to people in my network. I think it's just going to get agents, and especially new agents, a lot further along. Just going back to consumers, they want accuracy and they want speed. And so if you're really consistent with your content, I think you're going to be able to build up a good book of business, but you really have to stick with it.
Yeah. Consistency is key and content is king.
Yeah. Consistent content is king.
Put that on the Instagram, Ron.
Yeah.
One of our marketing guys.
That's awesome.
So
Chase, where can somebody get a hold of you? Check out InsurGrid. Give us all the deets.
So in www.insurgrid.com, visit the website, and we do have an offer going on for the whole Insurance Dude podcast network. And our product is $99 a month, but being part of the Insurance Dude, if you're listening to us now, you can get your first month for $75. So just go to our website, click the link, find the time on my calendar to get set up, and we'll take good care of you. You can also reach out to me directly. Chase, like the bank, no affiliation, at InsurGrid.com. I'm more than happy to help you and really just to talk with you, because we believe that the agent is still very relevant. It's going to become more relevant in the insurance conversation. And so how can we, as people in the industry, as well as people developing technology, work together? And that's what we want to do. We don't want to replace agents. My parents are not going to go away anytime soon, but our whole team, we have a team of 5, my co-founder, Charles, Alex, Joe, Jack, Joella, Mike, who's joining us next week. We got a whole team. We're working really hard, and we just want to hear with you and work with you.
Awesome. And I bet that people will not get the opportunity to be onboarded by one of the co-founders for much longer as this company takes off. So good time to take advantage of that. We'll put the link down below. And Chase, thank you so much for coming on the Insurance Dudes. It's been fascinating to learn about your company, and we really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And I appreciate you throwing me through the ringer at the beginning. That was fun.
Ooh, yeah, speed breakers is tough. So we'll see you down the road. Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Chase.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now. live.teledudes.com.
live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. Everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.